Welcome back to the channel. Monica Loop here at the Love Messages. So today we are going to be doing your reading for the month of April. Now this is going to be a general reading, so it may resonate, it may not. If it does resonate with you, there will be a link in the description box for the extended. Pisces, in this reading, I'm going to be taking a look at past, present, and future for you. I'm going to clarify the cards and pull some advice. Okay, so Pisces, your challenge for the month of April, we have the Judgment. Okay, judgment. For you, Pisces, I do feel very strongly that you're going through some sort of awakening. Okay, there's something that's trying to get your attention. We're going to talk about that in a moment. What you don't see coming at the bottom of the deck, you have the Justice. So the Justice is all about fairness and balance. This is what you don't see coming into your life. So something in your life may have been inconsistent, maybe out of balance, or maybe you experience something in your life where you feel like you deserve some sort of justice. You deserve some sort of good karma. Okay. And that's what's happening with the Justice. This is what you don't see coming into your life. So let's get into your reading. Let's talk about it, and then we'll clarify all the cards and get more information. So your challenge, like I said, is the Judgment, and the Judgment is all about an awakening. It's all about realizing things, waking up from that dream. If you have been living your life a certain way, if you thought your life was a certain way, if you thought something was a certain way, a lot of you are finding out the truth. And the truth sometimes can be a very ugly and scary thing, right? Even though we don't want to admit it, it is. So I do feel very strongly, Pisces, that you were in a situation where you felt like the situation was a certain way. And then you realize, you know what, it's not like this. It's actually a lot different. So now your biggest challenge here is to recognize and respond to this realization. Because oftentimes the truth shows up, and typically we have to change our lives or change the way that we do certain things. And this is what I feel a lot of you are going through. Something here has come to your attention. We're going to talk a little bit more about this. I'm going to clarify it and get more details on this in a moment. Now, in the recent past, you have the Star, you have the Tower, and you have the Ace of Wands. So in the recent past, I do strongly feel that, again, I keep getting this idea or this vision that you had, this dream that you had. And when you realize that maybe, oh, things aren't really this way, things are completely different than I thought, your illusion, your idea came shattering into pieces in the past. You have the Tower here in the past, so something that seemed very solid and stable for you no longer is. I do feel in the past you tried to have some sort of new beginning in connection to this. Maybe you tried to do things differently here in the past. I think the reason why a lot of you were really shocked at the changes that happened in the past was because you had a dream or a vision. And it seems that this dream or vision that you had here in the past really didn't come to fruition the way that you had thought it would, okay? And this is what happened in the past, which in a way forced you to rebuild your vision or your idea, okay? So a lot of you decided to have a new beginning, or you tried to initiate having a new beginning in the past to keep this idea or this dream that you had alive here in the past, okay? And we're gonna talk more about that in a moment. Now, in the present moment, you have the Emperor, the Knight of Cups, and the Four of Cups. There's something in your life in the present moment that really can bring you a lot of stability. It can bring a lot of stability. It can bring a lot of this structure into your life, a lot of this consistency. That's what you're looking for, right? Because in the past, something here stopped being consistent. Whereas now in the present moment, there is an opportunity for that with the Emperor. You have the Nine of Cups and the Four of Cups. So you want to be happy. You want to feel happy. You want to feel satisfied. You want to feel fulfilled. If this is about your love life, I do get a sense here that there is offers. There's an offer coming in for you. There's somebody here who's interested, or if you are interested in someone, but they're not really paying attention to you, or you feel rejected by this person, there is still potential here. Okay. And there may need to be patience here. I'm getting patient energy, like Temperance energy or Hangman energy in the present moment. But we're going to find out more when we clarify. In the near future, we have the Five of Swords, you have the Four of Pentacles, and you have the Five of Wands. So in the near future, I do see a disagreement, conflict, disagreement. Some of you are fighting for what it is that you want. You're standing up for yourself. Somebody here doesn't like the fact that you're standing up for yourself. Somebody here doesn't like the fact that, you see things one way and they see things another way. Somebody here is really stubborn in the near future. I don't know if this is you or someone that you're dealing with, but there is something that does come to your attention here, and it may cause a little bit of opposition. Okay. And this is something you should be prepared for. We're going to talk more about that in a moment. What you don't see coming at the bottom of the deck, like I said, you have the Justice. Underneath that, you have the King of Pentacles, and underneath that, you have the Sun. So what's coming into your life, what you don't see coming, is everything is going to go back into balance for you. Even though it feels like there's a lack of security, there's a lack of fairness, there's a lack of balance, just stability in general, that is all going to change. And I think intuitively, you know that this has a lot to do with your investments, finances, maybe even dealing with somebody else. Some of you are dealing with somebody who you want to set things right with, or you want things to be balanced, or you want to believe and trust that this person's going to bring good to you in your life. And I feel like whoever this person is that's coming into your life, they're very abundant and they are part of your karma. They're coming in to bring some form of balance into your life. Okay, so let's get into your reading. Let's clarify all the cards and let's get some details for you. Let's see what's going on for you, Pisces. Let's clarify your challenge and all the cards, and then we'll talk about the details. Okay, bottom of the deck, you have the Ten of Swords, and this is what is actually happening behind the scenes. So what's happening behind the scenes and what you don't see coming. So what's happening behind the scenes, Ten of Swords, you have the Eight of Swords, and you have the Strength. Something has been very difficult for you, Pisces, okay? A lot of you right now feel alone or you feel stuck. There's something that has really come to an end for you, or it's almost like a rock bottom energy that you've been feeling. I do feel this is temporary. One of the things that you also have to be aware of is Neptune and Saturn are going to be moving out of your sign very soon. So if things have been very tough or difficult for you, that is going to change. Now, going back to your challenge, which is clarified by the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, and the Four of Swords, your biggest challenge here is to recognize something that is coming to your attention. I believe that there's something in your life that was one way. It was one way. It was maybe very abundant, very prosperous, very stable. And now that energy is shifting. It's shifting more into a Queen of Swords energy. So some of you, your biggest challenge here is to be open to adapting or changing the way that you used to do things. Many of you are very much connected to doing things one way, where you may need to kind of switch the way that you're doing things. That's what I'm also getting here. The Four of Swords is also talking about rest, healing, recuperation, taking time out to meditate, taking time to really think about your next move. Because there is going to be a major shift when it comes to your sign, it's very important that you're aware of this shift and how it's going to affect you. And I think the way that this is going to affect you is how you approach certain situations in your life, or how you deal with certain situations in your life. So this is about you changing or evolving the way that you go about doing things. And one of the things that's going to be really challenging for you is paying attention to the signs, paying attention to the messages, because the Judgment is a message, right? When you look at the Judgment, you see a person with a trumpet. That's a sign. That's a frequency. That's something that is trying to get your attention. So your biggest challenge here is recognizing the signs and knowing when to rest, because it will come a time where I strongly believe there's going to be major changes, and the changes may happen very swiftly, very unexpectedly. So it's very important that you're resting when you see and hear the signs to do so. And this is what's going to help you in some sort of transition that you're making. There's a transition that's taking place in your life that is coming in for you. Okay, so this is going to be your challenge. This is what I'm seeing. Now let's talk about the recent past. In the recent past, you have the Star here, which is clarified by the Six of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Two of Swords. So I do strongly feel here in the recent past, you were very successful. You were recognized, you were successful here in the past. But I think a lot of you in the past didn't give yourself enough credit. Okay, there's something here about not giving yourself enough credit, not recognizing all the work that you've done in the past, which led to your success. I feel like people recognized you, people see the work that you've done, and it really led to a lot of abundance for you. But there's something here about not appreciating yourself enough, or just even recognizing the things that you've gone through to get to that level of success here in the past. You have the Tower, which is clarified by the Seven of Cups, the Judgment, and the Page of Pentacles. So in the recent past, and there's that Judgment card, which is part of your challenge, you already went through something in the past that's directly connected to your challenge, which means you've already been there, you've already done that. In the recent past, the reason why something here that felt stable and solid for you at one point stopped being stable and solid for you is because either there was too many options, there was too many distractions, or something here just wasn't clear to you in the past. Okay. And because something wasn't clear to you in the past, a lot of you tried to have some sort of new beginning, or you tried to start something new here in the past. Okay. So the signs, the messages that were coming in regards to something in your life that was breaking down has already happened to you. So it's very important that whatever happened in the past, you learn from it and you apply those details in the present moment. You also have the Ace of Wands, which is clarified by the Two of Cups. You have the Fool and the Queen of Wands. You met somebody new here in the past, or you attracted somebody who you may have felt had the potential to be in a relationship. So I feel like this breakdown, the changes that happened in the past, really were creating some sort of new opportunity for you in your life. And that's why you met a very special person here in the past. There was a very strong indication here of getting a water sign, maybe a fire sign. Sign doesn't really matter unless you know the person's full astrology chart. But essentially here, there was a new beginning in the past, or somebody looked at you and saw you as the person that they wanted to have a new beginning with. So in a way, the changes that happened in the past were a blessing in disguise because it allowed you to create room for something new here. Okay, is what I'm seeing. So this is what happened for you in the past. Now, in the present moment, at the top of your reading, you have the Emperor, which is clarified by the Six of Cups, the Temperance, and the King of Cups. So in the present moment, I do strongly feel there is somebody here who's interested in you. Water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, maybe a Sagittarius. Aries is very strong here as well. Somebody sees you, Pisces, as the person that they really can find the stability that they're looking for. I do get a sense here, some of you are asking, why is this taking so long? Why can't we just move forward together? What's happening? There's something here from either your past or the person's past that you were dealing with. Somebody here has something from their past that they haven't completely resolved. And in order to be able to accept love, to accept a new beginning, to not only to just accept a new beginning or accept love, to accept stability, this form of stability, the only way that's going to happen is if this person, whoever I'm speaking to, whether it's you or your person, because it could be vice versa, there's something from the past that still needs to be resolved. And this is why something here is taking a very long time to develop. Now you have the Nine of Cups as well, which is clarified by the Ace of Pentacles, the Five of Wands, and the Hermit. So in the present moment, I feel like you're the Nine of Cups. You right now are focused on yourself, your fulfillment, and your satisfaction. One of the things that you have to be careful of, Pisces, I see an opportunity that's coming into your life, but the reason why you're not able to recognize this opportunity is because you're so much focused on what you need. There's a very strong emphasis here of, I need to put myself first. What I need is more important than anything else. And it's almost as if you're isolating yourself. You're in hermit mode. It's like you don't want to deal with anybody. You just want to focus on yourself. Nothing wrong with that. But one of the things that you have to be aware of is if you are too focused inward and not focused on what's going outside and creating a balance, this is what you don't see coming, balance, right? We just had the full moon in Libra. Justice card has been very, very strong in all of the readings. So there's a conflict. This could be an inner conflict that you're going through. I don't think that this is a conflict that you're having with someone else. For some of you, this could be a conflict with someone else. But more or less, I feel like this is an internal conflict that you're facing. And this internal conflict is happening because a lot of you want to find satisfaction. This is your main goal. It's like, I want to make sure I'm happy. I want to make sure that everything's okay with myself before I invest myself into someone else. So somebody, if you're watching this and you're single and you do want a relationship, a lot of you may not feel like you're ready for it because you don't feel happy or satisfied within yourself yet. And this is what creates some sort of conflict. It's an internalized conflict, okay? Good news here is that an opportunity is showing up. If you can create balance between your wants and desires for yourself and what's happening in the outside world, then the opportunity will be there and you'll be able to harness that opportunity. Now, the other message here that you have, the Four of Cups, which is clarified by the Nine of Wands, you have the Eight of Wands, and you have the Knight of Cups. So in the present moment, I do strongly feel that communication is coming in. Somebody here is going to express why they've been unavailable, why they haven't been paying attention to you, or vice versa. I keep getting this vice versa energy in your reading. I do feel like this is you. You've been waiting on an offer from someone, or someone has been waiting on an offer for you. This person who is very much interested in you, I'm getting a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, could be a Leo, Sagittarius. Cancer is really strong. Somebody's been trying to reach you, to communicate with you, to get your attention, and they feel ignored by you. They feel like you're not there. And this again could be very much connected to the Judgment, because the Judgment is about what? Signs, communication, frequencies. Eight of Wands is about, action being taken, communication, talking, taking action. So I do feel someone here in the present moment is trying to get your attention. They're trying to reach out. They're trying to phone you, communicate with you. And this is somebody who's been trying to do this over and over again, and they feel rejected by you, okay? Or vice versa. All right, so this is what I see happening for you in the present moment. Now, in the near future, you have the Five of Swords, which is clarified by the Five of Swords again, the Ace of Wands, and the Magician. I see somebody here in the near future really fighting for what it is that they want. And I think one of the things that really makes sense here is that you've been trying to create a new beginning, some form of a new beginning. The reason why you've been creating or wanting to create a new beginning, Pisces, is because you feel that a cycle is coming to an end. One of the things that we have gone through recently, we went through Mercury retrograding and Venus retrograding. Mercury and Venus are inner planets, so they affect us on a very personalized level, depending on where it's happening in our astrological chart. For you, if your sun is in Pisces or your rising or your moon, this is going to affect you either physically, ascendant, your moon through your emotions, or the sun through your day-to-day life. I do feel in the near future that you are manifesting a new beginning, but this new beginning that you want to have isn't going to come so easily. I don't want to be negative. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing in the cards. Five of Swords here twice is indicating that you're going to have to put an effort in whatever it is that you're trying to do connected to a new beginning. Why? Because the Five of Swords is very competitive. The Five of Swords, people are cutthroat. They don't care. They're going to step on other people's toes to get ahead. And we see this a lot, right? Especially, in business, in competition. It's almost like you're going to do whatever you need to do to have a new beginning. So there is this cutthroat energy here in the near future. There is competition. So if you do want to have this new beginning, you will have to make an effort. You may have to go above and beyond to get the attention of whoever it is that you're trying to get the attention of. And of course, to have this new beginning, there's something here that you're really passionate about in the near future, and you're trying to manifest this. Okay, that's what I'm seeing here. And I think going back to your challenges has a lot to do with balance, right? If you are doing something at an extreme and you're not creating that balance, which is connected to Saturn being in your sign. Saturn is all about, it's not really about balance, but it's more or less about structure. Okay, so I see a lot of competition here, but if you are determined, you can manifest anything that you want. Now, you also have the Four of Pentacles here, which is clarified by the Ace of Swords, the Three of Pentacles, and the Six of Swords. I do feel in the near future, you're going to realize why somebody left, because I do see somebody leaving or disconnecting here in the near future. The reason why that may be happening is because there's a conflict here. I do see with the Five of Wands, the Eight of Cups, and the Three of Wands with the King of Wands. I think one of the things that you have to really remember in the near future is to really make sure you're clear on what you want. Okay? This is super, super, super important that you're clear on what you want, because I do feel that in order for you to actually move to this new level, this new cycle that you want, you may be required to collaborate with certain people, to work together with certain people that see your vision. But even though these people are coming in to work with you, to work together, there needs to be a clear and concise direction of where you two are going, because this is what creates some sort of conflict, then it creates some sort of dissatisfaction. And this doesn't matter if it's love, business, whatever that's happening in your life. It's very important that you come to a realization of what you want out of this situation. Now, if this is about love, you essentially are connecting with someone who's very much different from you. Maybe you have a different background, different experience. So it's very important that you're clear on what you want, because I do see a new opportunity coming in regards to that. Okay. So this is what I have for you. I'm going to pull some advice. What's your advice? What's the advice for Pisces? Ooh, Ten of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, and you have the Temperance. So your biggest piece of advice here, Pisces, has a lot to do with recognizing why something that has come to an end has taken a very long time to allow you to have a new beginning. You want to have a new beginning, you want to plant new seeds, but it's going to require you to recognize why a situation's coming to an end and what does that truly mean for you. If something is coming to an end, why is it coming to an end? And what have you learned from the past in order to apply that knowledge to the future? There's something here that's taking a lot longer than you had thought it would, but it doesn't mean that you can't plan and make plans and initiate things in terms of writing them down or creating a plan. Okay. So your biggest piece of advice here is to recognize what is coming to an end, recognize why it's taking a very long time to have a new beginning, but most importantly, recognize how you play a role in having a new beginning. Because a lot of you want to have a new beginning, but it's going to require you to invest, or it's going to require you to take the lead or take action in some way, shape, or form. When you start something or you create something, things will start to move forward for you a lot quicker. But if you are waiting on somebody else to initiate things for you, or if you're waiting for something here to come to an end, but you're not anticipating what your next move is, this is what you need to be focusing on. Okay. Just because something is coming to an end doesn't mean that you don't have the opportunity to start writing and planning and dreaming all the big things that you want, because before you know it, time is going to pass and that opportunity to start that new thing that you want is going to be there for you. Okay. So Pisces is what I have for you. I hope this reading helped. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.